I don't remember much on why I picked up Wii Play in the first place. I got it brand new back in 2007, there really wasn't much Wii games to play at the time. However, Wii Play did come with a new Wii remote for just $40. That deal was really good considering that the Wii remotes were only $50 at the time. When I played it though, the gameplay was hit and miss for me. It wasn't as revolutionary as Wii Sports, the controls were heavily simplified and the game as a whole just didn't capture the family fun like Wii Sports did. Instead, Wii Play gives out common minigames in an almost arcade-like structure. So once again, we are going to plow through each game that Wii Play offers, but now there's only 9 games to check out, so we'll be getting our money's worth, right? Just a heads up though, if you are playing Wii Play in a new save file, you'll have to unlock every minigame by playing the preceding one, so you're only limited to so many games from the start. First up, the shooting gallery. You shoot different objects in each level: ducks, frisbees, cans, and aliens? It's a good starting game out of the bunch, most simply because all you're doing is pointing and shooting, and with the inclusion of the familiar objects to shoot, I like to look at this game as a Duck Hunt sequel, minus the dog. Next up, Find Me, not to be confused with the 3DS Street Pass game. You have to find the me in a large crowd, whether they are walking, swimming, or floating in the void of space. Single player mode uses a time system in which the time limit is extended upon finding the correct me, whereas in multiplayer it's used as a scoring system where 2 players attempt to get the highest score. This is one of my personal favorites. Your mind gets so into finding these Miis that it's downright addicting. It also reminds me of the Wanted minigame from Mario 64 DS, just with more variety. Table tennis. Now in my Wii Sports video I mentioned that the tennis game worked and was more in-depth than I made it out to be. In this game I pictured the same thing, except that depth is completely butchered. All you do with the controller is volleying it left and right to the ball. It doesn't help when it's extremely sensitive. It can send up some intense rounds, but I'd much rather play Wii Sports Tennis or even real-life table tennis compared to this. Pose Me. You can switch your Mii's pose in order to match with the same position on the bubble. If you match with a glowing bubble, you can stop time in order to match with the others. My biggest problem with this game is what they expect you to do in order to connect with the bubble. You have to twist and turn the Wii remote all around in ways that can get your wrist cramping up in no time. And with the control scheme as simple as Wii Play, I am surprised at the hardships I have to make with this, making Pose Me my least favorite game out of the bunch. Laser Hockey. Kind of a mix between Pong and air hockey. I love the colors in this Tron-like area and the sound that plays when someone hits a goal. But hot damn, the sensitivity is through the roof. Again, you have to twist the cursor all the way around if you want to hit the puck in different angles. The AI seems to know how to control it. They look so comfortable playing the game, such smooth moves too. If I twist the Wii remote around, I either have to be really precise or go crazy because of the sensor bar. Billiards. Well, it's pool alright. This is extremely boring if you are playing by yourself, but what's really odd to me is having to hit the cue ball. If you are not setting your forearm in the correct angle, you have to reposition yourself so you can have enough room to pull or push the pole. Quite frankly, I was not expecting the control scheme this more unique than the previous games. Fishing. The player uses the fishing rod and hooks specific fish to get points. You can also get bonus points if you catch the right fish listed on top of the screen. I like this minigame, but the issue I have with billiards and setting the distance still happens here, though since this game goes by quicker, it's not as bad. And hey, I like the objects design with watercolor. The art design here is pretty nice. Next up, Charge. You ride a cow and topple scarecrows as you move along the track. Once you reach a goal, your points will be tallied up. Simple, refined, and decent with multiplayer, but turning can be incredibly stiff no matter how much you veer the Wii remote. Finally, we saved the best for last. Tanks. You control a small tank in a blocky area. Your goal is to take down all enemy tanks, both in single player or in co-op. You can shoot missiles or lay bombs to blow up walls. I think the best part here is the controls. You can use the Wii remote alone or use the nunchuck. Using whatever scheme you had in mind, it does feel like the arcade game called Tank, something that seems more accomplished than previous games on Wii Play so far. Tanks and Find Me are really the only 2 minigames I find myself going back to the most, which is a shame because that's only 2 of the 9 minigames I liked. Not even 30% of the games I liked back in Wii Sports. As I mentioned before, the game is simple, but maybe it's too simple. They dropped a lot of the motion controls here and went towards the use of the pointer. The sensitivity ruins some of the experience for me and it lacks substance. I repurchased this game for $5. I still recommend this price, especially since Wii remotes no longer come with this copy. Wii Play is done. Next time guys, we'll be looking at Wii Sports Resort for the Nintendo Wii. Admittedly though, it's going to take a little bit longer than what my previous videos have been so far, and that is mainly because I am working on a new countdown video. It's going to be a bit long, it's also being a bit simple, but there's a little bit more to work with this one. So I hope you guys can understand. There's still going to be content. Just with the Look At series, it's just going to be a little bit longer to get Wii Sports Resort out. With that said, guys, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all whenever. Take care.